Welcome back. This is Jeff, and we got Mark over here anyway.
You put my face on it.
Yeah. Hey, we've got a 2013 Ferrari 458 here. We're draining the coolant system right now. We removed the under tray currently, so don't really need to show you that. We are replacing the expansion tank here. The one up currently on the car is cracked in this area here, and it's been leaking for a while, so we're going to go ahead and change that out. This is from Fur Parts, so if you need any parts, give Fur Parts a call. They'd appreciate it. But anyway, we're going to go back. We're going to go ahead and lower the car now. We're going to take the cap off to vent the system, and then we're going to go ahead and break a couple lines here. We're going to go ahead and take these two lines off here. You got a light, Mark. Probably going to take it off here at this hose, and then right here we'll just break the lines, let the coolant drain. There's no really good drain source for these, not like the 360 or something where you can drain them up front. This is actually where they want you to drain it from. So like I said, we're going to go take the cap off so it vents, and then we'll break these hoses loose and start draining the system. So we've got the cap off right now. We're letting the system, like I said, breathe. We're going to go ahead and take this panel off right here. This has got to come off to get access to the tank. What size are these, you know?
I'm going to let you know here in a second. I think it's this one, which I believe is a 4. Allen, 4 Allen. No, it's not a 4. So let's try 3. 3.
All right, so like you said, that's a 3 Allen. All these are the same. Looks like there is 4 of them. That panel should slide right off. All right, so we've got the panel removed right now. Like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 caps off. We're going to go ahead and raise it up now. Looks like to change this out, we're going to go ahead and then have to retract the top a little bit, take that other panel out. We'll show you here, but we're going to lower this down right now.
You want to show them right here because this bolt?
Yeah. The reason why we're going to have to take that top, we're going to have to retract the top and take the inner panel out is on the new tank here, you can see this one here is exposed, but this one here is hidden, and there's one in the back right here that's hidden. So that's going to, make us retract the top and remove the inner panel. Like I said, we'll show you. Right now, we're going to go ahead and shut this and drain the fluid, and then we'll continue on up here. So we've got the one hose disconnected right here, and the other one disconnected right here on that. This is the driver's side. This is on the passenger side. Like I said, it says to break them here, but this is more convenient, so we did it here. It really doesn't matter. But we've got them draining here. They're pretty much drained. They're just going to drip for a little while. We're going to go ahead and lower the car back down, and then seeing if we can get better access to that tank. We've got the car lowered now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have the top retracted to where this is open, and then we're going to pause it. And then it will give us access to the lower panel, and we're going to have to remove it to get access to the rest of the tank. What?
Did you hear it? Is that the dripping noise?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, don't let it run too long. It don't have no fluid in it.
You're fine. It won't overheat.
Yeah, it's probably shooting it out.
Should be.
All right, that's it right there. All right, that's it. Anyway, now we're going to take this panel off here. These have to come off. We're going to look in here first because he has a noise also in here with a look for later on. But no, we're going to go ahead and take all this off. Take these off here. They're screwed on, and they're around the perimeter here. This may or may not have to come off for clearance purposes. But this definitely, the carpet's got to come off, and then the screws around the perimeter have to come off. These brackets here have to come off for this cable, because the cable has to run through here. The seal's going to have to be removed. This little section here, it pops out of here, just like that. This is going to have to come out, and so forth. All right, so we've got that panel removed. We had to cut a couple tie wraps here on the side, right in here on both sides, and then that'll give us enough slack to move this cable around the panel. But the panel has been removed. Now we have access to the tank here, the coolant expansion tank. So we've got the two hoses here that come off. The one here, there's one in the back here, and then there's one hidden kind of underneath here. So we're going to go ahead and take those out. All right, so Mark removed a clamp here from the back of the tank. This holds a couple lines. Goes right here. So it holds these lines right here. So don't forget to remove that.
The lower line's on the bottom.
The smaller ones on the line. We'll show you when it goes back together. But anyway, remove that, and we'll show you how it goes back together later. So we're taking this tank apart. The one fastener was here, one on the back. You can't really see right now because I'm lighting away. And then the one on the inboard, there's a little hole underneath this actuator here. And you take a little grommet out. Mark's got it in his hand here.
Yep.
You take that grommet out, it sits right here. And the bolt hole for the inboard portion of the tank is directly underneath. Like I said, you can't really see it, but you want to go through here. It's a 10 millimeter, and then you should be able to remove it. And then once you get that done, we'll move the tank around, and then there's a bottom line. You can see it right there, and it needs to be disconnected. So we've already disconnected the upper lines here. So we're going to go on. So we've got the tank removed. Kind of a pain, especially this bottom line. But tank's out. And you can see here the bottom line here, and it's got this little groove in it because there's a little like place on the tank where this actually fits so it doesn't twist. So it kind of makes it difficult to get this loose. And then we've got our clamp here, which we're going to try to reuse, but a lot of times it probably should replace these, okay, with all of them. Where's the upper ones here? Here's the upper ones. We were able to get off without really replacing them. We'll recrimp those. But if you had to replace them, I'd replace them. And then we took this connector off here just to give us more room. But we're ready to install this other tank, like I said, which is over here. And like I said, this is from Fur Parts, so if you got any parts needs, give them a call. So here's the new one. You can see it here. Now these bushings look like they've pushed out. Like I said, they shouldn't look like that. They should all be flush.
Like this one too.
Like this one here is pushed out too. I don't know what's caused that, but they should be all flush. So if you got a new part up, yeah. If you got a new part and they're pushed out, they should be flush, okay? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this thing installed and then show you how it goes back in. All right, we're getting ready here to install this new tank. We got the upper lines here. We got the lower line right here, and then this wire here, this connector we've got loose. So we're going to go ahead and stick this on first. And it has like a little notch in this tube, and it's got like a little notch on this tank. So that line that notch has to fit on that tube right in that same area. So you want to get that in position first. So we're going to go ahead and install that. All right, we've got the line installed. Mark's resecuring the clamp right now.
We're good. Yeah.
So that's on there. And then now we'll just reposition the whole tank into place. So we've got the bolt in over here. And like I said, the other bolt goes through this hole here. You'll have to get a socket, and you probably have to reach from underneath here because the screw won't fit through there with the washer. So you have to put your hand underneath there, hold the bolt in the washer, and then put your socket to the top. And you can see here on the scope, there's your bolt right here. We had to use this to get everything lined up, and there's a harness in the way. So it kind of takes two people to do this. I mean, you might get lucky and do it by yourself, but you can see the bolt here in the corner. It's 10 millimeter. But we're going to pull this back out now. You can see it right there. And he's going to go ahead and put the grommet back in.
There it is. Good.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and install these two upper lines up here and the little bracket on the back that holds the hoses next. Right, so we've got our hoses up here hooked up. We've got our clamp here installed. The bigger line goes over the smaller. So like I said, when these clamps here, the one's bigger and the lower one's smaller. Got that back in there. We've got our connector back on here. It's attached to this wall here. So I believe we're all done in this area as far as the installation of this tank. So I guess at this point, what we're going to do is I think we're going to go ahead and reinstall this area here. And then once we get this installed, we'll go down below, hook our lines up, and do the fill process. All right. We've got this panel installed. We've got our cables here routed and our grommets installed. We've got the clamp here installed. Same on the other side. Tie wraps here. It has like a little hole in here that secures the tie wrap. That's installed. Everything is routed good. The cable's down here. There's a clamp down here. That is secured. And then don't forget to tighten all your bolts along here before you install the back piece here, the other upper carpet, okay? And we've got the, I believe that's your pump here, that's installed. So we're ready to install this other piece of carpet here, and then all the carpet fasteners around the perimeter, all right? All right, so we've got the carpet back installed here. We put our little fasteners to hold down the carpet around the perimeter. Don't forget the fasteners along here. We've got two here, two in the center, two on the end.
You see it overlaps.
Your fasteners along the front here and the back. Don't forget to put your seal back in. That's what they're doing right now. So it should just slip in there. And then it has another piece that slides. The boots should slide together.
It's an overlap, right?
So once that gets done, they should be able to close this back up. And then we're going to proceed on with the rest of the coolant system. All right, like I said, we've got our seal installed. Make sure you got your ends tucked in properly. It's all nice, seated, level. It should be level across here. Like I said, all the screws are tight. So we're ready to close this back, put it back in normal position. Like I said, proceed on to the coolant reservoir change. But we're going to go ahead and raise it here in a few minutes, reinstall the lines underneath, and then go from there. Got the top back in position. Like I said, we've got the tank here. Where's our cap?
That's a great question. Oh, there. I think it's over there.
It's
I see it.
Yeah, hopefully it's not pinched underneath something.
I think it's right here, isn't it? Oh, has it?
All right, we've got the car raised up. We've hooked our lines back up here. We've had that clamp there loose. You just check that clamp there. This one here we had loose. It's secure. The other end is up there. We didn't take that loose. So both of our lines are on. Make sure these notches are in the correct orientation. Okay, so we're going to lower this down and start filling it with fluid, pull a vacuum on it, and go from there. All right, so we've got the car back down. We're getting it ready to install our tool. We're going to pull a vacuum on the system. So we're getting set up for that right now. and then we'll show you that setup here in a second. Right, so we've got our tool, our servicing tool on here. What we're going to do is we're going to draw it to about 25 inches of mercury. It's about where it's going to stall out. It may take a couple minutes to get there, and then once we pull a vacuum on it, we're going to shut the system off. We're going to let it sit for a little bit just to make sure we don't have a pressure drop. You'll initially have one, but then it should stabilize. If it doesn't stabilize, you've got a leak somewhere. So we're going to do that, and then once that stabilizes, we're going to install some fluid. We've got a clean bucket here. This is like almost a 5 gallon. I think it's a little less than 5 gallons. We've got the fluid in there. We'll drop the hose from the tool into the bucket, and then once we start drawing, we'll show you that part. You do not want the end of the hose to come out of the fluid, or you'll get air in the system. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and hook our air up and start to draw.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, you might have to open the...
Oh, it's not open.
All right, he's going to open that valve. It's going to be kind of loud, so... You can feel it drawing now. Now, if it does have some leaks, it'll probably be in this area, most likely. So just make sure this is all put together tightly. Like I said, it's going to slow down, and it should stall out around 25. Plus or minus a little bit. It's not an exact number, but as it gets to a higher pressure, it will stall out. It'll slow down. Shut it off. It's just a hair over 24. I don't know if you can see that right there. Like I said, it shouldn't drop much. If it does, I would look for some leaks, but it's looking pretty good right now. I mean, like I said, you may have a leak in the system if it starts dropping faster than that. You want to investigate, but it should be somewhat stable. Like I said, if you're going to have a leak, it's most likely going to be here at the attachment of this tool. So we're going to let it sit here for a few minutes. So we've let it sit for a few minutes. We're still about where we're at. It all depends on how I put the camera here. I'm trying not to get a parallax on it, but it looks like it was where it was a few minutes ago. So we're going to now open the other valve and start drawing fluid in. Okay?
You do it?
Yeah, go ahead. And like as you draw fluid in, pressure is going to drop. But the big thing here is keep the end of the hose submerged. Yeah, you can go ahead.
We're pretty full already.
Does it?
Yeah. Still going, right?
That's you're like.
Yeah, you got a ways to go. It's still 5 gallons.
I mean, how many gallons you got in there?
About 4.
About 4. Yeah, it's usually somewhere around 3 to 4. It usually takes. Like I said, you want to keep the end submerged here.
Where are we at, Joe?
Now we're at almost 0.
We did pretty good.
All right, so we're done drawing it in. Once it reaches 0, it's not going to draw any more in. We still have just a little bit left in the bucket, maybe like half a gallon, maybe. So we're going to go ahead and leave it there and take the tool off, and hopefully it will be serviced. So we secured the cap back on. We're showing a little full, but we haven't ran the car yet. The fluid should be somewhere in this area for normal operation. So I'll go show you the manual to where they suggest the fluid to be, where the fluid should be, because there's not really a graph on the tank itself. So let me go over and show you the manual here. So they're looking at right in this area here, if you can see that. That's where you're supposed to be. It actually has 60 millimeters from the filler plug top. So from the top, I would say the tank down 60 millimeters approximately. It may not be exact because it's going to vary. Once it gets to a point it likes, it's going to vary in that area. So they do have a bleeding procedure here. And there's another view. And here, I'll just put the camera here for a few seconds, and then if you need to read this, you can study it. But this is for like a static fill. We didn't do a static fill. We actually used this machine. So if you were just to dump fluid in just by no tool at all, you would do this procedure right here. We can follow this procedure, but it's really not necessary for for how we filled it. We didn't do the static fill. We actually used a vacuum system to fill the tank. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and run the car and see what happens. Yeah, all right, so we've just started the car. I'm going to have him turn the heater controls on to full hot and blower high. All right, so all right. Full hot net, okay. So you can see it's already drawing it down to about where it needs to be. Maybe a tad high, but it may move a little bit more. Like I said, we'll let it run here for a few minutes. We may do the cycling, how the manual recommends. And then we'll also kind of do a leak check here and make sure we're not losing it anywhere. So the car's running right now. We're putting it on the lift. We're raising it up here, and we're going to check these lines underneath just to make sure we don't have any leaks down here. And then we'll be able to button this bottom up. Sure. All right, there's our one clamp that we had off. It's not leaking. The other one, there's the other end. It all looks good. I don't see any leaks anywhere. Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm satisfied with it down here. Like I said, we can put the panel on here in a few minutes, but we're going to lower the car back down. Check our connections on top. I don't see any fluid on the ground, so that's a good sign. So yeah, we're coming down with it. All right, so the car, we got it back down. Our fluid is about where we want it. We can check our connections back there. They look good. I don't see any leaks at all. You got the one down below. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's right there in the center of the screen. It looks good. I don't see any leaks there either. So we're going to run it here for a few more minutes. Like I said, you want the heat full max, blower full max, and then if you're going to do it manual fill, there's steps that they would like you to perform. Like I said, we did a vacuum fill, which is different. looks like it's settled out a little bit. It's gone down just a little bit here, but we're still good on the level. I have one recommendation though, if you're doing this job. Let's see. I also got another note here. Some cars may or may not have this reservoir right here. This is for the lift system. So if your car has the nose lift, it will have this reservoir. If your car does not have the lift system, this will not be here. So just to give you guys a heads up, if you guys got a question what this reservoir is for, this is for the nose lift. All right, that's where the oil for it goes. All right, and the quantity is probably here in the lower limit. So usually you'll probably see a little higher. But anyway, just to give you a heads up on that, what that is. So we've got the under tray on. It's completely installed. And I guess we're complete with this job. So anyway, we're going to put the car back down. And like I said, we're done with this. And we'll catch you next time on our next job, which should be 355 that's sitting outside right now. We're going to be doing an engine out in that over the next few weeks, starting pretty soon. So please stay tuned. Catch you in a few.